Nivaleth. "There we are, ladies and gentlemen," Elex announced joyfully as the three of them caught sight of the village from afar. It looked very charming and welcoming, lying there at the foot of the mountain. The houses were built from white and dark brown wood, while the pointed roofs gleamed in bright, vibrant colors. Each building was unique, just like the families who lived in them. To reach Elex's home, they had to walk through the entire village. "I specifically chose a house on the edge of the village because I wanted my children to have a large area to explore and play in. Nothing is better suited for that than a big field. It's located right behind our house. Recently, I've also been trying my hand on gardening," Elex explained as they walked through the streets. It was market day, and everywhere small stalls offered fascinating things. One man, for example, had crafted small pictures out of beads and stones with great care and a special technique. He could even recreate his customers' faces. Another small stand sold bags, hats, and even clothes crocheted from algae. That might sound a little bit strange at first, but these were special algae, not just because of their unique color, usually a bright turquoise, and in rare cases even pink, but also because of their particular smell. Before they can be processed, the algae have to be well dried in the sun. Their texture then changes from slimy to silky. The scent also transforms into sweet apple or raspberry, a dream for anyone who appreciates the art of crochet and delicious fragrance. Perry's eye lingered on a stall offering hand-carved flutes. He really loved music, though he hadn't yet learned to play an instrument. The flute would definitely be his first choice. Of course, there was also food. Dusty had to restrain himself from accidentally nibbling one of the delicious star-shaped rolls at a bread stand as they walked past. "I'll get us a few of those later, then we'll have a good stash of stars in our pockets." Dusty was very pleased about that. The streets were full of lovely, unique people doing their shopping or chatting happily with one another. The mood was cheerful and everyone bustled about excitedly. Dusty's hooves clattered on the cobbled street, causing many people to turn and lovingly admire the little pony. Everyone was welcome here. None of the people gave them uncomfortable looks. Everyone made an effort to make space for Dusty on the road so he could move freely and without worry. Perry liked the village from the very beginning and felt very comfortable. Eventually, they reached a large white house with a bright yellow roof. "Welcome to my home," said Elex and opened the door, which was also yellow. They entered a spacious hallway from which the kitchen, bathroom, and all the children's room branched off. A loud, joyful "Mama!" rang out from one of the rooms, and shortly after, a small, adorable girl came running towards them. Happily, Elex took her in her arms and gently kissed her forehead. The little one looked very much like her mother. She too had those beautiful amber eyes and woolly black hair braided into 2 thick plaits. After the two had greeted each other, Ilex introduced everyone. "May I introduce you, my dear daughter Ilara? Ilara, these are my 2 friends, Perry Armstrong and his pony Dusty." The little girl's eyes sparkled as she caught sight of the small pony. In a soft yet strong voice, she said, "Hello, dear friends. So nice to have you here." Perry lovingly shook her hand. "Is your pony enchanted and can fly during a full moon?" Ilara asked as she scratched Dusty behind his ear. "Maybe. Anything is possible," Perry replied with a wink. From the kitchen appeared a lady who was likely Ilex's mother. "Greetings," she called with a laugh, and warmly welcomed the 2 guests. Behind her, 3 more children appeared, 2 boys and a girl. Now the real welcoming began, and the large room was filled with many cheerful voices. Ilara was the oldest children, followed by her sweet sister Lyra. The boys were named Elio and Leonard. They all looked quite alike, except Leonard, who didn't have amber eyes, but instead emerald green ones that shimmered mysteriously. None of the children were shy. Each of them had a healthy amount of self-confidence. Naturally, they all wanted to pet Dusty and play with him. "Why don't you go outside with Dusty to the field while we prepare lunch?" Ilex suggested. Everyone loved the idea, and while preparations for cooking began in the kitchen, the children played wildly with Dusty in the field. Perry stayed inside the house with the 2 kind ladies. "May I offer you my help?" he asked. "Wouldn't you rather rest a little and let your thoughts wander? You're our guest after all," said Ilex. "Nothing would bring me more joy if you allow me to cook with you," Perry replied friendly. The 2 women were thrilled to have his help. "Would you like an apron?" asked Ilex's mother, and rummaged through a drawer to find a few options. "With pleasure," Perry giggled happily and tied on a turquoise apron made from those special algae which smelled of raspberry.